Hey, it's Kyle here, and I'm excited today to be talking about the first season of The Bad Batch. Before I get started, if you like this video, please hit that like button, and if you have yet, please subscribe to the channel. I really appreciate the support. Now on to the first season of The Bad Batch, which I absolutely loved. I think if you're a fan of Star Wars animated content, I'd be very surprised if you did not like The Bad Batch if you haven't watched it yet. In some ways, and I'm not the first person that says, instead of this film like the first season of The Bad Batch, it almost feels like an extra season of the Clone Wars. So if you kind of like the Clone Wars, if you like Rebels, you're probably going to enjoy The Bad Batch. If you watch Clone Wars and Rebels and you didn't really like those, you're probably not going to like The Bad Batch. Before I get a little bit to Bad Batch, I do want to give a little plug. If you've never watched any of the Star Wars animated content, definitely check it out. It is really amazing. I actually didn't watch the animated stuff of Star Wars until last year during the pandemic. When the Clone Wars came out, I can't remember, something was going on. I was just like extra busy, and I was like, I don't have time to watch this. I'm sure it's good. And then by the time, I started hearing reviews about it, and it was really good. Several seasons had already came out. I was like, well, how am I going to catch up? And I just kept on putting it off and putting it off. I was like, well, I'll get to it someday. Well, like a lot of people last year in the pandemic had some free time on hand. It's like, now is the perfect time to catch up. So I basically watched my way through all the animated content, the Clone Wars, Rebels, and Resistance. And it definitely, I regret not watching it sooner. So if you're a Star Wars fan, you've never seen the animated stuff, watch it. Now on to The Bad Batch. I'll kind of go into what I liked and what I didn't like. Overall concept and general premise of this series, really enjoyed. The animation was actually gorgeous. There was a few points where some of the ships they were showing was like, I think this ship could have been actually put into live action and it would pass this CGI. It was so high quality. A lot of the planets they visited, absolutely beautiful animation again. No complaints on animation. It was absolutely stunning. Loved it. I think it's definitely their best work on the animation front. Music, like always in Star Wars, home run, amazing music. Again, no complaints there. 5 out of 5 stars, 2 thumbs up, however you want to rank it. Music was awesome. Overall, really enjoyed the characters. Probably my favorite character was Wrecker, part of the Bad Batch. Loved him. He was very funny. He brought a lot of comedic relief. But at the same time, when there were serious moments, a lot of times he was the one that would help drive home a point. He was also the character a lot of times when the Bad Batch were having philosophical debates on what they should do, what their mission in life should be now. He was one that would kind of be in the middle, and he could kind of see both sides of it. And that character, I think, was very much needed a lot of times to move the storyline along. Also, his relationship with Omega was absolutely brilliant. Loved their connection. They very much seemed to have the most big brother, little sister relationship of all the characters in the show. So really loved Wrecker. Crosshair was a very interesting and good kind of bad guy, but is he a bad guy? Maybe he'll come back to the good side type character. Really loved him. Very interesting. Hunter was a very interesting character, and how you saw his leadership skills developed and how he began to question, what the Bad Batch should be doing with their lives. So loved them. One of the big complaints about the series is Tech and Echo. It's not that I don't like those characters. I liked them a lot, the little bit you saw, but they never really got much storyline time. They were kind of almost the background characters of the main squad of the Bad Batch. So I'm hoping in season 2 we'll get some good Echo and Tech storylines, because I really want those characters to get some time to shine. Where I feel like all the other members of the Bad Batch really got a lot of storyline. Those 2 characters were just more in the background and didn't really have a whole lot of plot actually revolve around them. The one other thing I would have liked to see them change a little bit, and I've seen a few other people say this, is that the fact that it's streaming this year, I kind of wish they would have done what The Mandalorian did, where The Mandalorian kind of played around with episode lengths. If the episode just needed to be 34 minutes, it was 34 minutes. If the episode needed to be 48 minutes, it was 48 minutes. It was whatever the story dictated, kind of dictated how long the show was for that week. Where the Bad Batch, it seemed like they just kind of locked in, like, all right, we're going to do our standard length of what an animated show normally would be on TV. And there's some episodes, I think, you know, instead of being in that 20-minute range, it probably could have been 40 minutes, and they could have worked a lot more storyline. The other ones maybe a little bit shorter. The season finale, I think, very much was divided up into a two-parter. It probably should have been just one really long episode. A lot like the debut episode, which was the only one they kind of played around length, was basically like almost movie length. I would have liked to have seen them done the same thing with the season finale. But like I said, the things I dislike about the show are really small nitpicks. It's almost things like I would like to have seen them do better, not stuff that really took away from my enjoyment of the show. Plot-wise, I'm sure most people are familiar with the Bad Batch plot is, but basically it's taking place. The first episode's actually pretty quick into it when Order 66 is instituted. So you're basically seeing the transition from the Republic to the Empire. And how this Bad Batch, which is kind of a special force group of clone troopers, react to this new reality when they decide not to side with the Empire and try to find their own path in this new reality, which I found very interesting. A big part of the show that I really enjoyed was this early transition from the Republic to the Empire. Because, you know, by the time we see the movies and stuff like Rebels, it's already full-fledged Empire. You don't really see much of the in-between. And it's very interesting to see this in the Bad Batch. You are seeing this transition. You're seeing, you know, stormtroopers, you know, human recruits coming in, starting to phase out the clone troopers. Uniforms are starting to change. When they visited planets, you're starting to see Imperial policies implemented. It is very interesting. I'm kind of enjoying that, and I'm hoping we see even more of that in the second season. I'm very curious for the second season if they'll pick up immediately after the season finale, or if they'll jump forward and more in time. I'm hoping they'll kind of be immediately after the season finale, because I'm afraid if they jump too far forward, you'll start missing out on some of that interesting Imperial transition that I'm kind of enjoying. But overall, like I said, really love the Bad Batch. It's amazing. It has me very excited for season 2. And also, when I was watching, it's like, you know, it makes me want to see even more Star Wars animated series. So I'm hoping there will be a lot more of those in the future. Maybe they'll run multiples at the same time and not just, you know, kind of one at a time. So, huge fan. If you haven't checked out the Bad Batch, it definitely has my recommendation. So in the comment section below, let me know what your reactions have been to the Bad Batch so far. Please avoid plot spoilers in case somebody's watching this video and hasn't seen the series yet. But maybe let me know what some of your favorite episodes were, favorite characters, that type of stuff. Anyway, hope you enjoyed the video. Again, hit that like button if you haven't yet. Subscribe to the channel. May the Force be with you, and I'll see you the next time.